We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
You got to have the why, and we know our why. So
you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Yep. Millions and millions of people have done this already. You can get help, you can get a roadmap, you can save a lot of time, money, and frustration. Welcome to the Value Add Podcast with K&K. Hey everybody, welcome back and Happy New Year. If you don't know who I am, I'm Crystal Moore, the awesome host of the Value Add Podcast with K&K, and also the broker of Pacific Shore Capital, where we'll get you the best multifamily or commercial loan in town.
And if you don't know me, my name is Kenny Simpson, co-host and married to the fabulous Crystal Moore. She hasn't changed her last name, so don't get confused. She is my wife. I also work alongside with her. I do residential financing 1 to 4 units under Team Simpson. And today, my gosh, January 1st, 2020. And Crystal, let's say, Happy friggin' New Year.
Happy New Year.
If you're listening to this, it might be Happy Hangover. Guys, there's no better day, and hopefully you haven't waited till January 1st to do this. But if you did, the next guy coming on, there's no better to listen to get your morning straight, to get your plans right, to get your goals right. For God's sakes, get the pen and paper out, start writing down, start taking notes, and get ready for Jarvis, because he's going to rock it on your 90-day challenge. You guys should be jumping out of bed like it's Christmas morning tomorrow.
That was quite an intro. If you guys haven't listened, Jarvis has been on the podcast previously, so you should go back and listen to that episode. He is the ultimate morning hero.
That's why he's called the morning hero.
And you can't be a morning hero without the night before routine. Ooh. So we talk a little bit about that in this episode, and you should check it out.
Because last night was probably rough. But check it out. Happy New Year. We're excited for 2020. Hope you guys had great holidays. Now it's time to get back to work, get the hangover over. Let's go.
Right.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Value Add Podcast with K&K. Today we have Jarvis Leverson, the morning hero, back on the show. Jarvis, thanks for coming in.
Let's do this.
Yeah. I wore my, I have this shirt, but not many people understand it, but Jarvis understands it because he gets up at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, you need to cross that out and put
Cross
3:45 now.
Yeah, 3:45. Yeah. So I think there's a few people that motivate me in the morning. I always click on and make sure they're up and doing their thing, and he's always up, so I love it.
Dude, I think we're the only people on Instagram up, posting stories at 3:30, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, especially in our time.
I'm not up at that time, but I would agree with that statement.
I love it, man. You inspired me, Kenny.
I appreciate it. Back at you. So we brought Jarvis in today. Obviously, we were talking before. Crystal and I just did a little episode about how we kind of get together and do our goals and how 2019 was for us, and what our failures are, our good things, bad things, and all that, looking at 2020. And obviously, we're ending 2019, and it's crazy that we're going into 2020, right? It's just crazy when I think about that numbers. We're talking about,
by. Yeah.
I thought there were supposed to be flying cars by 2000, but we missed that one.
Yeah.
But we wanted to bring in, obviously, because we're coming the new year, and this is going to get launched when people listen to this right in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And that's when everybody, as you and I know, is like, it's gym time, it's goal time, it's focus, and it's the new year, and they want to crush goals and all that. And obviously, nobody better to bring in than Jarvis, who basically, that's what he teaches every day, is how to crush your goals. So, Jarvis, thanks for coming in. And I kind of want to just start off how has it been since you've been doing this for 8 months?
Yeah.
How's it going? And give us a couple feedback on some of your test cases or whatever, people that are working through your program and how that's going for them.
Dude, this has been an amazing ride. So just to kind of go back a little bit, 9 months ago, I was doing commercial real estate. I was knee deep into trying to build a commercial real estate empire. I wanted to have buildings downtown with my name on it. And that was my sole ambition. And I had kind of found this hack that was working for me to get the most out of life. I was my happiest, I was my healthiest, I was my wealthiest, and I just had this flow. And people just started asking me, what the hell are you doing? You come in, you're doing backflips. What's this thing? What's this thing that you got, and how do I get it? And so, and it was really, really simple what I was doing. Really simple. I had determined that I had a big goal and vision that I was working on, and it was important enough to me that I would commit to waking up early to work on it every day. Simple. right? I committed to just waking up 1 hour early every day to work on this goal, this dream, to connect to my goals and kind of action plan my day, and then and put it in motion and execute. And people started asking me, well, can you show me what you're doing? Can you kind of teach me some of this, what your morning routine is like? How do you make sure that you're pushing forward and you stay focused and organized and on track and on target and accomplish things every day? And so I just started showing people what I was doing, and enough people started asking for this that I was like, hey, well, maybe there is something to this process that I'm doing. Maybe this is something unique. So I started teaching it to people and holding seminars and classes, and lo and behold, it was enough opportunity there, and there was enough people asking for this and enough people seeing value in it that I decided to quit commercial real estate to pursue this purpose of helping people get from point A to point B faster by showing this little process that I was doing. I call it the morning hero method for hyper focus and extreme productivity. And so that I started doing that about 8 months ago. Fast forward, it's taken off far beyond I could have expected.
Awesome.
Expected it to. Every day I get validation that this thing is changing people's lives. I can go on my phone now and I have about 10 text messages from people saying, you honestly changed my life. I can't thank you enough. And so it's, one testimony, one of the ladies on my program, she's a real estate agent. And one of the hardest parts with any job, right, with anything you're doing, is you know what you need to do. The hard part is doing it. There's nothing I can tell you that you don't already know to be successful. You want to be successful, you already know everything you have to do. There's 2 or 3 critical functions that if you do those things consistently, you will be successful. And you already know what those are. Most people already know what they have to do. You want to lose weight? Well, exercise a little more, eat a little less. It's simple, right?
Yeah.
The formulas are simple. Doing it is the hard part. And so she already knew what she needed to do. I showed her this technique, and within 6 months, she had doubled her income just because there was a process that helped her be consistent and accountable to doing what she needed to do every single day, and helped her focus and stay organized on her most important things. And so I just met with her yesterday, and her goal is to double her income again next year. That means she's trying to quadruple her income within an 18-month time span, right? Which is unheard of, but that's what the power of this process is. That's what the power of one simple habit, waking up earlier and just kind of spending a few minutes, getting organized, connecting to your goals, and putting an action plan together. That simple process takes about 15 minutes. 15 minutes a day for this woman is going to amount to her quadrupling her income within 18 months. That's how powerful this one simple habit is. And now I'm on this grand mission to share it with the whole world. Get it out to the world.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's been a great ride. 2019 has been a year of validation for me to show that this was my purpose. I was put here to help people get from point A to B faster. I have this unique ability to kind of hack things. I'm an engineer by trade. I actually went to school for computer engineering. So
That's right, yeah.
So my background is understanding processes and how to make them more efficient. That's what an engineer does. They take a problem and they turn it into a more efficient way to make that problem easier to solve. And that's essentially what I do with life. I took a problem of how do you accomplish a goal, and I hacked it into an easy, repeatable, easy to follow process that anybody can do to solve that problem, which is accomplishing their goal. And so that's my purpose in life now. I've kind of been anointed with this opportunity to help make this problem for people easier. And so that's what it is. That's what the morning hero is all about now.
That's crazy. I know. It's like, I remember when you started at 8 months, it's like time flies like that.
Time
right?
does fly, yeah.
And you have a baby boy?
Baby boy, and he's the blessing on this world. And everyone always, before we had this prince of ours. Me and you, we've always been on this getting up early train.
Yeah.
We're up early, we're working on our goals, we're hustling, and everyone's like, oh, wait till you have a kid. Yeah, you're the morning hero now.
Your world's gonna be turned upside down.
Wait till you have a kid and see how everything's changed. Well, look, I'm proud to say I'm 10 weeks into fatherhood, and not a damn thing has changed. I still wake up early every damn day. I still crush my goals every damn day with no excuses. Hashtag no excuses. I don't care if you got a kid, you got other. There's so many excuses people make. I'm here to say fuck your excuses.
Yeah.
Do it. You still can do what you need to do every damn day.
Yeah.
Right. No excuses. And so I'm 10 weeks in, and he's a blessing in my life, and he has not stopped me. He has encouraged and pushed me to do everything I'm doing harder, faster, stronger, to another level.
Yeah, I mean, you look great. You're crushing. I know it's funny because when Jarvis and I run the stairs, I came back and he was like, I just had Harley. He's like, man, you're getting up, and every question is Jarvis be like, so. How are you getting? Because you're engineering. Like, how are you getting up? No, he wanted to know the answer. I was like, I'm like,
you were my inspiration, man.
There was no answer. It's like there can't be an excuse, right? And then when you did it, I was like, it just is. I mean, for you, I mean, it's funny because not many people we can sit here and have a conversation, but you get up early, I get up early. But somebody, who was it? We ran into a guy at Savita the other night. That athlete guy. And he's like, are you still getting up early? Yeah. And he goes, you're just addicted to it. I go, I cannot tell you how addicted I am to getting up early. And I said, it's not about early. It's about getting my time and me. For me, it's me being selfish, but I'm willing to make the sacrifice. But that time is just even running this morning, like I'm able to work stuff out of my head or what I can think about. I have so much time. When I get up, I'm like, okay, Crystal's going to wake up, or Harlow. You have so much time to do stuff.
That's it, man.
Unbelievable.
So that is the secret. Like every once in a while, I gave a speech yesterday on, people looking for this grand, wisdom. Bestow this grand wisdom on us. How do you accomplish this goal? How do you make this thing easier? How do I stay consistent? And it's so easy. Just wake up early. You have everyone has the same 24 hours of the day. Some people just know how to use those 24 hours more
100%.
efficiently, right? It's the same 24 hours. Elon Musk is running multiple billion-dollar companies with the same 24 hours that you have. Why can't you do this one little thing, and these other people can do extraordinary things? Because they know how to maximize the time they've been given. Wake up early, and you have all the time you need to push whatever goal it is forward. And so I appreciate you, because you were one of the first people on this journey with me, starting to wake up early. We would get together and go run the stairs together. Yeah. And I saw you do it with your daughter. I'm like, well, hell, Kenny can still be out here. Yeah. Like, there's no excuse, right?
It's awesome. It's awesome to see, because but you just got to do it for yourself. And what's funny you say about wasted time is, I always keep telling people you're not crushing your goals. It's because what you're doing, not while you're working. What are you doing? Not while you're working, right? It's like in your spare time will either make you or break you.
Totally.
Like if you go home at night and you're the Netflix person, or you wake up in the morning, whatever, vice versa. If you're waking up late and imagine that. I tell people, imagine if your kid's coming over and waking you up, and you're waking up to your son or your daughter, and it's chaos, and that's you're waking up every day. People know that. My son wakes me up like, Dad, I'm hungry, I want food, and it's like right away. I mean, me doing that, Crystal knows, I'd jump through a window at the house. I'd go crazy.
But that's 90% of the world. They wake up into their day, so they've snoozed. And I used to be the master at snoozing. I had it timed down to the minute of how many minutes my shower would take, how many minutes it would take me that I had to rush on my clothes, and how many minutes traffic. Like, I knew exactly to the minute what time I had to get up so that I could scurry through my whole process to make it to the office right at the right amount of time. Like, I would wake up running into this scatteredness and frenzy, and then my entire day would be like that. Imagine if you wake up and you have like you said, I call my morning is my sanctuary.
For sure.
It's my sanctuary. I have time to process. I have time to meditate and connect with my goals and my vision. I have time to kind of put my strategy together. I'm not waking up in this frenzied scurry and never have taken that moment to set my intention for the day. And so that's the secret sauce is, man, just give yourself some time. Give yourself a little sanctuary every morning where you can just connect with your vision. That alone, through the law of attraction, will naturally gravitate you towards your goal. If you're waking up every day into chaos, you are doomed from the beginning. All you have to do is every morning wake up a little earlier, to give yourself time to connect to your vision, and just that sheer moment alone will push you naturally. Will naturally start gravitating towards accomplishing your goal. It's the secret sauce. Wake up early. That's it. That is the one habit that will change your life.
So Kenny,
wake up early.
It's crazy because Kenny's at the point now where it's not difficult for him to wake up at 3:45. Like, he's fine. I mean, it's not a challenge. So for people that are having a difficult time getting up earlier, like, do you have any kind of tips for how people can get up early?
Here we go. I actually have. So that was my talk yesterday. The 5 hacks to wake up with extreme momentum, like a kid on Christmas morning.
That's awesome.
That is how Kenny wakes up every day too, like a kid on Christmas
That's how you do it.
That's how I wake up. Like, it's addictive.
Where's the present?
Like, I wake up running. It's like 3 in the morning, and I'm like ripping the covers off. My wife is like, "What are you doing?" I'm running out of there. But no, so actually I have this whole thing as a free download on my website, themorninghero.com, and it's a PDF, and it's the 5 tricks or techniques to wake up like a kid on Christmas morning. Wake up early like a kid on Christmas morning. But so the first one is the key to a great morning starts the night before.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say it.
So there's just no way around it.
Yep.
You want to wake up early. You have to go to bed early.
What time do you go to bed right now?
8:30 to 9.
Okay.
So I know I need about 6 hours of sleep.
Okay.
So we have this whole nighttime process where we bathe Jet and give him a little tummy time, and we have it timed so he's going down right around 8:15. As soon as we put him down, make sure he's okay. Sometimes we'll have a glass of wine just to really knock us out. Other times I'm diving in the bed.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying to get to bed around 8:30 and 9. And so it's a simple, like, there's just no way around it. Your body does need sleep to function. So if you want to wake up early, you have to go to bed early. That's plain and simple. How do you go to bed early? That's the deeper question, because a lot of people are so kind of wired into their to their groove or into this cycle that even if they lay down at 9, they can't go to bed at, like, they can't officially shut it down. So how do you go to bed early? There are things and triggers that kind of soothe you into a mindset of sleep. You know, some people use aromas or warm teas. I personally use a book.
Okay.
Me too. That helps a lot.
For me, books kind of put me into that.
Book on tape's not cuts out, dude. I don't know.
Book on tape.
They're great. We listen to them every night now.
Yeah, Audible's a good one. For me, a book, and it does 2 things. Right now, a lot of people go to bed with their phones. So right before they're going to bed, they're scrolling through social media, they're scrolling through emails and text messaging. What they don't realize is they're taking that energy with them.
It's like stress.
It's stress.
Basically.
They're loading themselves up with stress right before they're trying to kind of decompress. And so now you're marinating on that all night long. And so now you're not getting the quality of sleep that you deserve, that you can. You're waking people are like, I just can't stay asleep. I'm waking up every 2 hours. Well, what was that crap you were just consuming right in the bed? Your phone. Some people, the phone is in the bed with them, laying on the mattress with them, right? Like, they're physically absorbing the negativity, and they're wondering why they can't get, like, calm, soothing sleep all night long. So my trick for that is don't sleep with the phone in the room. My phone is in the bathroom. My charger is in the bathroom. So that accomplishes several things. Now, I can't go to bed consuming that negative energy. The phone, and so I'm reading a book. Now I'm actually marinating on knowledge and wisdom and good energy throughout the night off of whatever I just read. And the book actually, like, puts me to sleep. So the phone being in the bathroom, one, is not in my reach, so I can't grab it to consume negative energy. But 2, more importantly, now in the morning, because a lot of people use their phone as their alarm clock, I can't snooze it because it's in the bathroom going off. I have to actually.
And your wife's like,
I have to actually get up running. Like, I physically have to. When I say jumping out of bed like a kid, I physically have to jump out of bed to run to the bathroom.
so it's not like all going off, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. To turn it off. So because it's the alarm clock and it's in the bathroom, I have to run out of bed. And so you want to know how to get up and how to stop snoozing? Put your phone in another room and try to get it before the kid wakes up, right? That's a motivator to get you running, right?
Especially at 3:30 when it's like dead quiet, calm, like, and everybody's like, "What is that noise?"
Yeah. So it gets me up and I'm running to the bathroom. Now I'm in the bathroom. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I got my toothbrush and toothpaste sitting right there. I might as well just grab it and get going, right? So that's the best way to like really trigger yourself to get out of bed is to don't sleep next to your alarm clock. Don't sleep next to your phone. Put your phone in another room. That way you can't snooze it and you're forced to get out of bed to go get it. So that's the first hack is set yourself up with a better nighttime routine. Don't sleep with your phone. Read a book, and that can help you get
no
to bed.
TV too, same thing.
Yeah.
And even if you're having a hard time in the beginning, because inevitably I think you will if you're used to getting up later.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard those first handful of days going to bed.
Yes.
But you're going to be tired the first few days you do it anyway.
You're
so it's going to
readjusting your
help
clock.
you
You're
readjust. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take you a couple of days, but like people always can kind of get stuck on this, but it's just my circadian rhythm. Like that's a bunch of BS. There's nothing in your genetic makeup. There's nothing in your genes and your biology that determines that you can't get up at a certain time.
It's the habit you create.
It's just what you tell yourself.
Yeah.
Like you can create a new habit. You can create a new reality just stop telling yourself that you can't get up at a certain hour. You absolutely can. Mm-hmm. It might take a few days to get adjusted to it, but you totally can. And once you start waking up early, you will be dead tired by the end of the day.
Oh, his head hits the pillow now.
You will naturally start going to bed earlier.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. It's funny because there's a lady at this. I was telling the story to you. There's a lady at the other gym I used to work out, the Aztec one, and she got up at like 3:30, right? And this one I was getting up at like 4:30. I was like, gosh, that's crazy because it's 3:30. And she's like, 7:30, I am out. I'm like, 7:30? Like, how do you get to bed at 7:30? She goes, oh, trust me, you can. And now it's like, getting up at 3. I mean, I get 3:45's alarm goes off, but you never hear it go off. I'm up 3:30. I'm just up before it always. But, comes 8 o'clock or 8:30, I am like, if I'm not moving, if I'm sitting down, I am like, you better get me a bed quick because I'm going down fast. But I tell people, look, what you're not understanding is that you got to go through those days. Your clock's all over. I mean, Monty's a perfect example. Monty never really got up too early, and then she started getting earlier and earlier. And then when she gets on the routine, then she starts realizing and she's like, man, I'm going to bed at 8:39. I'm like, yeah, because your body, if you're getting up, your body knows if I'm getting up, I got to go.
It's a long day.
It's a long day.
But then you get in this cycle, and it's like, it's addicting, and then it's like, it's great because you feel great. But if you go too late, it's a problem.
When people ask us, like, hey, when did you dinner? We're like, 5:30?
Yeah, oh man.
So they go 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
Wait, we're halfway.
Exactly. Yeah.
We went out for friends the other night, and we got seated at the restaurant at like 7. Appetizers are like 7:30.
Huh?
Like appetizers aren't even at the table yet, and I'm like yawning, like, babe, what time? Like, we haven't even ordered our meal. Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it.
Yes. Now we ask people, and they pretty much have like conformed to our schedule. When you're a parent too, that you get that total pass. Now they're like, okay, because you have the baby, you can go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
But it's like now we would never even probably do a dinner at 7:30. We'd be like, it's gotta go. I mean, it's gotta be real special to be going that late.
Right.
So you've got, which I totally agree. The night before is actually more important than the morning because then when you get it, you'll realize it real quick. You're like, it's about the night to plan.
Totally.
Then you said, obviously, the other thing is put your alarm away from you.
Yep.
Unless you're like me and you can it doesn't matter. But I tell people, if you're not and you have struggle, put the alarm away. And then we're now on, did we get
number
to 3?
So here's a little trick that I use. It's a little kind of like fluffy and foo-foo, right? It absolutely works.
Oh, here we go.
Absolutely works.
Monty's like, when is this coming? Monty's like, I can't wait.
So it channels into the power of the subconscious mind. 90% of your behaviors are all driven and dictated by the subconscious, not your conscious. And the subconscious is actually very obedient to what you tell it. The problem is most people tell it the wrong things. You can actually program your subconscious. Most people start their day, their evening off like this, like, oh my God, it's gonna be what time? How much sleep do I have? Oh, only 6. I'm going to be so tired in the morning. I'm going to be so tired. Oh, I got this meeting coming. I'm so not looking
You're so
forward
right.
to it.
I never think about that.
What you are essentially doing is that you are planting the seed, and your body will actually obey what you just told it. Now you will be tired because you just told yourself that. Now, what happens if you flip that around and you give it more affirming language? I call it a nighttime affirmation. So here's how you do it. You establish what time you're going to get up and what you're going to do when you first get up. And so you say, oh, I am so glad. I can't wait to get up at 4 a.m. so I can go for my run.
Crystal's like, yeah.
I can't wait to get up at 4 a.m. so I can do my meditation. So I can't wait to get up at blank so that I can blank. Even if you don't feel it, even if you like in your head, you're not buying it. Just say it. I promise you,
100%
this
agree. It
will help.
works.
Yeah.
Just say it, and it is scary. If you say, I can't wait to get up at, let's say, 5 a.m. If you say, I can't wait to get up at 5 a.m. to try my new herbal tea, I guarantee you will wake up 3 minutes before 5 a.m. It is scary how this works.
Like you said, the Christmas morning, right?
You wake up like you planted a seed deep in your subconscious, and you've essentially programmed your internal alarm
You
clock.
created a plan. You planned.
You set intention,
Yeah.
and your subconscious is obedient. It's like, oh, okay, I got the orders. I
Yeah.
got the marching orders.
Yeah.
At 3 minutes before 5, it's like, hey, get up. You got your herbal tea waiting.
Yeah.
Like, you just wake up. Your eyes just open. And you get up, and you're like, wait, what time is it? My alarm didn't even go off. You're like, holy crap.
You know, it's funny you say that is Crystal always used to say it. She goes, I hate getting up early, but if we're going on vacation, I have no problem getting up early.
Yeah.
And it was because
I'll
you're
get up
going
with
on
the sun.
vacation. You're like,
Yeah.
yes, we're going, you know?
Yeah.
And I just,
So you can create your vacation morning so come up with something to look forward to in the morning. I have one of my clients, he's big into diffusers, and he's deep into the essential oils, and goes to the farmers markets and gets all the different flavors, and he looks up on the internet different combinations and recipes of herbal scents and aromas that produce different, reactions and smells and all kinds of stuff. But he'll go and he'll kind of look up, do research, and it's like, oh, tomorrow morning I'm going to try this combination. And so it's like, oh, I can't wait to get up to try this combination of aromas, right? He's essentially created his Christmas morning. Now that's what he's looking forward to. A kid doesn't need to be woken up because they know what they're looking forward to in the morning.
That's true.
You give yourself something to look forward to in the morning, and now you are a kid every night.
I like
You've
that.
created your Christmas morning.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah.
You can do something simple as go get a new flavor of oatmeal. I can't wait to get up at 5 to try my blueberry oatmeal. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, he's making it sound so good.
Yes.
So you can
That's good.
use
No,
your
I like
language.
that. I agree.
Use your language to program your internal clock. So establish something to look forward to. Like for me now, and it could be the same thing over and over. Like for me, it's either meditation or running. Now it's running. I can't wait to get up to go for my run because I've been trying to tell myself I'm a runner. Realistically, I hate running, but I tell myself every day I can't wait to go running. And actually now I look forward to it. And
It's so funny you say that because I hate running, and I work out every day, and I run 2 to 3 miles. And today I ran, then ran the hill, then ran stairs, and it's funny you say that because I hate it. But now I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I love getting up, and I love to go run, and it's because of like what my mind goes to. So it's weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird you say that because I'm like going through the same thing right now.
I want you guys to try it. And I've been telling everyone whenever I give a speech and I tell people this, that I'll give you $10 if it doesn't work. You can email me. Say tomorrow you're gonna wake up, whatever time you want to wake up. Try this technique, and if you don't wake up 3 minutes before you said it, I'll give you $10.
Yeah.
And that goes to anybody listening too.
Yeah.
Jarvis at themorninghero.com.
You're gonna get all these
Message
emails.
me.
I need $10.
Message me and I'll Venmo you
That's awesome.
if this technique doesn't work for you.
It will.
It does, but from what you're saying, because you have these 5 tips, and we'll, I think, hear the last one here in a minute.
1 or 2.
Yeah, but
1, 4.
it takes planning. Like you have to plan these things.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
have to be intentional. And that goes with anything in life.
Yeah.
Be intentional. Don't just wander into and just establish a plan.
But I think so many of us are just used to, watching TV at night until you get tired, and then going to bed and scrolling through Instagram or whatever before you go to bed.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I didn't sleep that great last night. I'm kind of tired.
Yeah.
So most of us oddly don't. We have a plan for everything else. You have meetings set for work. You have your kids on a schedule of activities they're doing or whatever. But then the night's kind of like this.
Whatever happens.
Right.
And so that's a part of kind of like the morning hero method. The biggest piece of it is how you plan the day, and I have people plan out their personal time. So you plan every minute of your day from the time you wake up, let's say 5 a.m., all the way to the time you go to bed, say 10 p.m. I walk people through a step-by-step process of how to establish intention for every single minute of their day. So there is no ambiguity in their calendar. There is no blank space that they don't know what's going to happen or is unaccounted for. You have intention set, and when you have that intention, you have a greater opportunity to be, to do whatever it is that you want, to accomplish, or have a greater output, if you will. But you're absolutely right. The blank space is the death of anyone. Any intention, anything you want to get done. If there's blank space, because what happens is people linger in this state of indecision, trying to figure out, like you spend half the time just trying to figure out, well, what should I do? And when you do that, you default to the easiest thing or the most brainless thing, which is either check your email, check Facebook, watch TV. When you don't have any intention set, your mind is it goes down the path of least resistance. So if you don't have anything, if you haven't given it any instructions, it will just default to whatever the easiest thing is. And most people exist in that realm. When there's blank space, they just do whatever their habit is or whatever's the easiest. But like you said, when you plan it out or set some intention, then you actually give yourself an instruction set of how you're going to have productive use of that time, rather than just kind of lingering time. So that's actually kind of the biggest point of what the method is that I teach people, is how to be more productive with your time by setting intention every morning. You set the intention of how the entire day is going to go out and how you're going to have the highest output for your day.
I love that. Yeah, it's like, why would you not plan your evenings or your free time?
Most people only have, when you look at some people's calendar, they only have like client appointments on there. The whole day is blank, and they'll have maybe 2 or 3 little spots, and that's just like a phone call here, a client appointment here, and the rest of the day is blank. It's like, well, what are you going to do during all that time? I don't know. Then they're left just trying to figure out, okay, how can I make the best use of this time? And then they don't make the best use of it. If you got important stuff, stick that stuff in there. You have family time. Put that on there. Be intentional about family time. I even put naps on my calendar. If I'm intentional about the time I'm going to take a nap, right? I put everything on my calendar, and now I have a game plan, and I'm not left in this wandering state all day. I'm very clear. Every day I'm very clear on what I have to output. I'm very clear on when I'm doing it. And most people, they walk around scattered all day and very foggy and unclear because they've never established some time to plan effectively how they're going to produce all day long. So that's a part of the technique that I teach people, the Morning Hero method, is how to really get the most out of your day by just planning the whole thing out every morning. So.
I think you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of free time, and I think when we first had Harlow, if you looked at my calendar, I had everything planned. Monty used to laugh at my calendar, and now it's gone a little bit more towards just the appointments and things, and like when I have to be home. So I'm at least getting like motivated to get back into, having every.
I'll show you. It's called the zero calendar method or the hero calendar. Morning hero. But it's this whole 15-minute morning process. It will change your life. It is life transforming. Everyone on my program say they get about an extra 2 to 3 hours of productivity per day just from spending 15 minutes completely mapping out their whole day ahead of time. Because that extra time is the time that they would have normally spent just kind of wandering around like, well, what should I do right now? Well, I'll just work on this minutia item. Like, your brain will always default to minutia when you don't give it clear instructions of the highest and best use. Minutia being email, working on this spreadsheet, working on something that's not your superpower, right? We spend too much time working on things that's not our superpower because we never really established in the beginning what what our highest and best use is. So I can show you this technique. It is so powerful. Guaranteed will give you 3 hours of productivity back every day.
Well, and the other thing too is when you don't really plan your time or time block. I read somewhere, I don't remember where, but every time you change an activity, it takes you on average of like 15 minutes to get into the activity.
Yeah.
So you're losing even that time that you're like, okay, I'm going to switch gears and get into this mode now
Yep.
and start focusing on this. So when you don't really have a good, smooth plan, it's like taking a road trip with no directions and just taking
that's
wrong
what-
turns, until you find it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So the analogy I use is that you set when you go out driving in an unfamiliar area and you're trying to get to a new destination, the first thing you do is you pull out your phone and you type in your end destination into the GPS. You start with the end destination and then you get your route by route guidance. You don't just go out and start driving.
Right.
Yeah.
And most people just go out and start driving
Right.
in their day. They just wake up running into their day and they never establish, okay, where am I trying to go today? What am I trying to accomplish today? And then how do I get there today? And look at your GPS, set your GPS. And then once you do that, you just follow it all day long. All you have to do is just follow the turn-by-turn directions. Like you've done the hard work. The hard work was just establishing the route. Most people just go out and start driving and just hope they wind up at their destination.
Right.
They're just hoping. At
Right.
the end of the day, they hope, and at the end of the day, they can't account for what they did.
Right.
What did I accomplish today? Like most people are that
No,
way.
I agree totally. I think everybody suffers from that.
Yeah.
Even if you get up early, it's like it's very easy to get distracted in the day or this or that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's just how it is. What let's finish off 4 and 5. I think we're on 4 or 5. I want to finish with the I love number.
So the next one is so we talked a little bit about there are triggers.
Yep.
Like at night, you can trigger yourself into a state of soothing sleep by, aromatherapy or putting on a warm blanket. Like our body and our brains work on triggers. One of the most powerful triggers are visual triggers. And so as soon as I get up, most people will kind of wander around in their robe and their bunny slippers for half the morning, right?
Yeah.
You're triggering yourself to go back to sleep. You're triggering yourself to
Cozy.
kind
You're
of
cozy.
stay in this cozy mood, right? I have my workout gear sitting at the foot of the bed from the night before. Soon as I wake up, the first thing I do is I put on my workout clothes. Even if I'm not going out, rushing right out to my
Same
workout,
thing.
I strap on my
Same
gear.
thing.
I get dressed. The first thing I do is I get dressed. And what that does is every time I walk past a mirror, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm dressed and ready for battle. That triggers me into the mindset that I'm going to go crush this day, right? And so you use your visual triggers to trigger yourself awake, if you will, by getting dressed as soon as you get up. So I have my little tights. I don't know what this whole trend, men wearing yoga tights now.
But you like it.
I love it. I can't go out of the house without wearing
Where's my tights? Where's my tights?
Jane, are you wearing my tights again?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But I got my.
Sorry, I'm not wearing tights yet.
But I got my tights and my shorts and everything. So I get up and I put them on, and then I still I go through my meditation. I still stay in the house for a little bit of time before I go for my run, but I do it dressed. I don't do that stuff. I don't make breakfast and all that without first putting on my gear. So that's the first thing I do is I get dressed and I call it putting on your cape. A hero, if they're going to go off a battle, they got to strap on their cape. So I put on my cape as soon as I get up, and that visually triggers you for battle.
That's interesting because I think most people are like, I need my coffee at least before I'm going to get dressed.
Yeah.
So it just like prolongs. Yeah, but I mean, theoretically, you could change the order.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
just changing that order actually does make a profound impact. And so, how many times have you gotten up, actually started some of your routine, and then I need a few more minutes of sleep. I'm gonna get back in. You get up, but then you end up back in the bed, right? When you get dressed.
I'm queen of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine.
They put their workout clothes and go back down. I'm like,
These
no,
days.
what are you doing?
Oh, you actually
Just
get
for a
dressed.
minute, it's cozy.
She's done that. Yeah, I'm like, oh my
Oh,
god.
okay. Well, I don't know if this can help you.
I was doing so good, and then I got pregnant, and then I made all the excuses, and so I have to get back on track. Jarvis
most,
is gonna get me. Like, we're gonna be doing this together.
Do not
Yeah.
go
It's
back
Not
in bed.
just our listeners. I will have to get my.
I'm gonna keep track
Yeah.
on you.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get dressed, then theoretically it should prevent you from having the urge to get back in bed because
Yes.
you're dressed already. So it's like,
Yes.
I'm not gonna crawl back in bed. I'm already dressed. So that's the fourth one, and then the last one, which you all familiar with, is activate. Do something, work out, go for a run, even if it's just like a little 10-minute yoga routine, something that gets oxygen flowing to
I
the
was
brain.
just gonna say that. Yeah.
And that has a number of benefits. Working out in the morning, you burn more calories, increases your metabolism, it gets your hormones in check, your cortisol levels, and it balances your mood. Like, it has so many benefits. Physically, working out in the morning, it's better to work out in the morning than if you worked out at night. Like, the same workout, but all you did is change the time of day you did it, does have an impact. So there's the physical benefits, but more importantly is the mental benefits. And you touched on a few of them. A workout is almost like a meditation. You're breathing heavy. It's the oxygen flow, especially first thing in the morning when your cognitive levels of your brain are much higher. You get into this trance-like state in which now your brain like can process and you're receiving. I call it this extreme state of listening, where you're receiving input from the universe. Now you're getting big ideas. Now you're getting resolutions to problems. Every morning on my run, I guarantee you when I come back, I'm flooded with like new ideas and concepts.
You're
and
fired up.
I'm fired up. I'm fired up. The mental benefits of activating first thing in the morning are paramount. So even if it's something as short as 10 minutes, you can put on a little 10-minute YouTube. They have all kinds of 10-minute HIIT routines on YouTube, or a 10-minute yoga routine. Just something that's going to increase your blood flow and your oxygen flow, and that's going to trigger your mind into an extreme state of flow.
And if you're just starting this, the one thing I know is that I've done this too, where I'm like, oh, I don't want to work out, like I'm tired, whatever. And the second you get your heart rate up, that goes away. Like
totally.
Your energy, you're like, okay, I can do this now. I can function. So it's like hard to get yourself to that point, but once you do, at least if you're having a hard time getting up, like I do, at times, it's like, okay, just get your heart rate up and get yourself like out of breath.
Yeah.
And that will help kickstart your day. Then you can go on with all the other things.
Absolutely. It's the hardest part is showing up. That's with everything. It's the mental barrier. Mm-hmm. Like, the workout is actually easy. Mm-hmm. Like, showing up was the hard part. Like, once you get over that barrier, you'll see like, oh, I was stressing out over this.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing how people, my other thing is that I would add I tell people is everything you said is like, some of it's like, I love the number 3. I love that. There was my favorite. But is I tell people is one thing is have music ready or have a podcast ready. Because when I get up, like you said, my brain's a different way. I love consuming. So I'll consume podcasts, but but if you're like mellow, get some jams going in your ears. And like you said, get going. And like, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I'm so fired up downstairs. I got music on. I'm freaking dancing. I'm moving around. I don't care. I'm like, I am ready.
Crazy,
yeah. I'm just like, I'm like, I want to go, And then the next thing for me is I'm like, I get up, I'm like, how much can I jam in the morning? What more can I do? Podcasts. And then I'm like, I want to start. I'm realizing, man, I got so much time now. I can go work out. I can come back home. I can go for a run. I can do this. I'm getting more workout in. I can start pushing myself on workouts because I have that time.
That's it. And it starts small. I would suggest when I first started waking up early, my goal at first was just to wake up at 6. The very first day I tried that nighttime affirmation, I said, okay, I'm excited to get up at 6 a.m. so I can try this meditation thing. I was just starting to learn how to meditate. And that morning I woke up at 5:57. So that was the first time I experienced the power of waking up, of the affirmation, how it actually works. But I just wanted to wake up at 6. And then 6, got kind of addicted to like, holy crap, like, wow, I got time to myself in the morning, but like no emails, no text messages are coming in. Like, I was reading, like I was waking up, meditating and reading, and I was falling in love with it. Then I was like, okay, maybe try 5:30. I moved it to 5:30. Fell in love with that, moved it to 5. So it just kind of, I didn't just start off waking up at 3:30, 4 in the morning. it was a gradual process because I just got addicted to how much time I had in the morning to just work on myself, to grow, to get connected to my vision like that. Once you get started, you get addicted to it. You're experiencing it now.
I mean, honestly, it's probably like Crystal knows. Like if I don't get up, if I'm off, my day is like, I want to just go restart, start over tomorrow. Like I want to just be, you're off.
Yeah.
So it's so addicting. I tell people, but it's such a good addiction. It's unbelievable. It's life.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, and think about it. So yeah, you're giving up your nights. You're giving up, from 9 p.m. to midnight, whatever time you normally would have went to bed. But what were you doing in that time anyway?
That's what we say.
What are you doing in that time anyway?
like we always say, if you're out past 12, there's nothing good going on. Like you can, bad shit happens.
But those evening hours are completely different than the morning hours. And
Yeah.
that is for sure.
For sure.
That's the end of your day. You're basically just dragging yourself to stay up for some reason.
Right.
You're watching the third episode, and then
Totally.
then you turn it off. Then your body's still going for another hour and a half.
Yep.
So Jarvis, I know we're kind of wrapping up here. So let's just break it down. People are going to come into January 1st here, right? We just talked about, we just gave them 5 great nuggets plus more of we got 2 guys that get up here early. That's why I love you so much. It's awesome. We can talk and we get it. But morning, I agree, is so huge. And as far as goals and being set, just to dive into that, if it's January 1st and people are going to write down your goals and things like that, do you have any couple tips or nuggets where you've been doing this so much where somebody's writing down a goal, but it's what should they be writing down? What's kind of realistic? What's something where it's hey, they're putting some unrealistic goal or something where it's you're selling yourself for failure? Can you talk about some goal setting?
So rather than giving the specific structure and breaking it down to a formula and overcomplicating it, I will say that I'm less concerned about what you write. I'm more concerned that you do it every day. Write your goals every day. And so what I do in kind of my program with all the students in the Morning Hero program is we have a format that we follow. It's called the Perfect Day Planning System. And part of it is writing your goals. So you first start off with a reflection. What I do well yesterday? What could I have done better? How would I have done it differently? So you start off with a reflection of how you could have improved on yesterday to make sure you're always learning and growing. And then you have to write your goal and then come up with an action plan for each one of those goals for that day. The important piece of it, just writing that goal. Just writing that goal every day keeps you focused on your North Star. Most people, they try to establish a North Star at the beginning of the year, with New Year's resolutions. I'm going to lose all this weight. I want to double my business. They kind of haphazardly come up with some a vision for the year
with no plan to get there.
No plan. But then, more importantly, they never reconnect to it, right?
Yeah.
Never see it again.
They never see it again. It was a January 1st thing that they said, and then never again for the rest of the year, and then halfway.
And they start thinking about it now, right?
Right. Then the end of the year comes. Where am I? Did I accomplish anything? You haven't really all year long, and you've never reconnected to that again. Of course you haven't. Of course you're stuck in place. Of course 3 years have gone by and you've been spinning in circles, right? You've never reconnected to kind of your GPS route guidance system, right? You might have said the end destination, but you never looked at the turn-by-turn directions throughout the year. Every day, write a goal. Write what you're trying to go for, and then now it's top of mind, and that does something. It's the programming of the subconscious. Now your actions, your behaviors, everything you do that day, it's fresh where you're headed. It's fresh that I'm trying to lose this weight. I'm trying to do this. So now I'll come in. No, I can't do that because that doesn't align with the goal that I just wrote down for myself this morning. Just that one step of waking up a little earlier, write that goal down every day. 1 or 2 or 3 goals. I don't do more than 3. Write down those goals, and that will start to dictate your behavior. And all year long, your body language will start to, you will just exude this goal. You will become obsessed, and you have to have a natural, healthy obsession over your goal. You have to. You have to wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it. It has to dictate your decisions. That's the only way you're really going to crush it. is you have to become obsessed over it, and you become obsessed through repetition, and that's from writing it every day. So I'm less concerned with the format and the structure and is it too big. I'm less concerned with that. I'm more concerned with write it every day.
I love it.
Have a journal, write your goal down every day, and that's kind of what we do on our program. And just that one step, guaranteed, every day it will start pushing you closer and closer towards it.
It sounds to me too like what I've been gathering from this whole conversation so far is that you're definitely there to help people be accountable and to guide them, but also really to create those habits, because
that's the biggest part.
people do these things for a couple days or a week and then something happens.
Motivation only lasts so long.
Yeah.
So that's what I found when I used to teach this to people. They're like, "Oh my God, this is revolutionary! Yes, I found so much more productivity. I feel so much better." And then 3 weeks would pass, and I would see them again, and I would say, "Well, how's it going? You were so jazzed up and excited and motivated. Like, how are you doing? Are you making progress?" "Well, life happened. The kids, and I just didn't have the time anymore. And like, it works when I do it. I just get sidetracked and so I found that the hardest part, again, this goes back to what we were saying earlier, it's not knowing what to do, it's doing it. People have the hardest time
We know.
doing what they know they need to do.
Yeah.
You know what works for you. Like, you already know everything that works for you. Doing it consistently is the hard part, and so that was kind of the main motivation for making the accountability program that I have. It's called the Goal Achievement Program, and it's really, you take this process that I've been talking to you about, this morning process, you add a layer of accountability to it, meaning every morning you do it with a group of people. Now you're accountable to other people. You and just that alone, adding accountability, it forces you to execute. Like, you will let yourself down.
You don't want to let everybody else down.
You'll let yourself down time and time again.
Yeah.
The minute you know someone else is counting on you or has an expectation of you, you will go out of your way to show up and show out. If you was going to the gym by yourself, you're like, I don't feel like it today. But if your friend is waiting for you at the gym, you gotta go. Like,
yeah, you're like, I have to go, but I'm going.
God, I'm okay. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The same thing. I brought that same principle into your goals. So now every morning at either 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., a group of people will get on a call together, and they have to go through this morning process together as a group, and then at the end they declare what a successful day looks like for them. These are the top 3 things that if I do that I'm going to accomplish today that's going to make this a successful day. Now the minute you say that, now you have to live up to it.
Right.
Because
you're going to have that call tomorrow.
Tomorrow, everyone's going to say, all right, yesterday you said you were going to do these things. Did you do them? And I guarantee you, I have a couple, people are competitive by nature. And so it turns into like a competition. Like,
I bet, yeah.
Now I know I can't miss one of my top 3 because so-and-so's on the call and they crush it. So I have to, right? It turns into this little friendly competition of just trying to crush our goals, right? And it works tremendously. People say, Jarvis, I came home late and I was super tired, but I said I was going to read 20 pages and I put that on my goals list for the day, and I knew I didn't want to show up to this call and not have a simple report. So I stayed up late to finish this because I knew I was going to be held accountable. Accountability is everything.
Yes.
And so that's kind of, I couple accountability. I teach people kind of a morning process that will set them up for success. And then I layer on accountability with it. And when you bring those 2 things together, it's like dynamite. You will crush anything. And so that's kind of what I've kind of built the Morning Hero program on, is a strong, solid process to set you up, and then layer some accountability on with a group of people. And they all crush it. Yeah. So I'm actually
cool.
we're opening enrollment for the January. There's a January Tribe of accountability group that I'm starting.
How do people find you? What's the best way to find you, or take a look at that, or contact you?
Yeah, so themorninghero.com is kind of like where the main place they can go. They can download the PDF that I talked about of the top 5 tricks to wake up like a kid on Christmas morning, every morning. Then they'll also find some information on the Goal Achievement Program, which is kind of where I teach them this morning process, and they can sign up for an accountability group where They'll link up with other like-minded people that's all striving to crush their goals together too, and just building that little community increases people's performance fourfold.
And how do you do your accountability calls every morning? Like, what's the time? How does it
Yeah,
kind of work?
so I have multiple calls from 5, 6, 7, 8. People can pick a time that kind of works best for their morning flow, and it's a Zoom video call. And so they need a laptop or they can do it on a phone. But in that way, you actually looking at everybody together on this call. And that kind of helps kind of build the relationships and build community. So it turns into like a morning mastermind. So it's a great way to start. Now people say that they can't start their day without it. Like it is the de facto start to their day every day. They look forward to their morning mastermind that gets their day off to a great start. So it's through Zoom. And then it's about a 30 to 45-minute call. But during that call, you're actually half of that time is actually silence, where you are reflecting and meditating and going through and game planning your day. So I teach people this process to do, and they actually do it on the call together. So it's not just 45 minutes of wasted time, small talk. No, we're working. You are working on your day, and you're designing your day. So the output of the call is you have a game plan, a well thought out action plan for the day. And that's
So you don't necessarily have to have that ready to go when you
no,
get on the call.
you do it
together.
You do it together with a group of people. Yeah, so it
That's
kind
cool.
of builds community.
It does feel like a team, when you're doing that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's people swear by it now. I have people now saying that they need it on weekends. So right now it's just Monday through Friday, and everyone's like, "Can you please do this on the weekends? Because like I need this to start my day on the weekend too.
Yeah.
Like it's addictive once you see your level of output, like how much it increases your output.
Yeah.
Like people get hungry for it. So
That's awesome.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
yeah. So themorninghero.com is how people can kind of go and check it out.
And the group that you have, is there a certain time period that it runs for?
So everyone that signs up, I ask that they at least make a 3-month commitment. Like anything that you're striving for, you won't see monumental results towards your goal in just a couple of weeks or a month. I ask for people to actually commit to this process, commit to the group, commit to themselves, that they will actually get down to the nitty gritty and really work on this goal that they're trying to achieve. So that's the only thing is at least commit 3 months. The average, I have people that's been on the groups. The longest is 12 months because I just started it 12 months ago.
Wow.
So half the people that started the group 12 months ago are still on it right now. Most people will stay on, 6 to 8 months. But you have to at least make a 3-month commitment.
That's smart. I think how could you even know if something's working in any less time?
No, you can't.
Or hold yourself accountable to create that habit too.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
it's really you're building this new habit of waking up a little earlier and kind of going through a morning process that's going to set you up greatly. That's a new habit to build, and that takes time to ingrain that new habit.
Well, people used to say, it takes 21 days to form a habit, or some people said it takes 60 days. And I think it really depends on the habit. Like, I think waking up early for a lot of people is tough.
Totally.
It's not like 3 weeks, and you're...
No, it's going to take some getting used to,
Yeah.
getting your body, used to a new cycle definitely takes time. So, they say 21, 60... For me, waking up early didn't even take that long. It took maybe a week. But then I have people on my call that it took them an entire 3 months before they really started to find a groove. Like they needed that call, otherwise they would not have been waking up early.
Well, I've fallen off, and it actually took me probably longer than that to get on that groove. When I was waking up at 5, it was several months before I felt like I wasn't a zombie getting out of bed,
Yeah.
So I think it's
remember.
different for everybody. Yeah, for sure.
So everybody, if you're listening to this, it's probably 2020. So happy New Year.
Yeah.
It's funny we're sitting here, but I mean, if you're listening to this and you don't get any nuggets out of this, I don't know.
And it's a good
crazy.
way to kickstart your year because
It's honestly, this is great. People should listen to this. Kickstart your year. You're going to get some nuggets out of it. Jarvis, thanks for coming on always.
Absolutely.
And
I'll do this whenever you guys want. I can talk for days on this.
Yeah. And I hope you guys listen to this and crush your goals. And if you need help with that, reach out to Jarvis. Do 90 days. And commit to next year to making a change of your life and jump on it and do it.
Listen, we're going into a new decade. Like the 19s are, the teens are done. We're going into an entire new decade. It's time to do something different.
Yep.
I've been challenging people. Look at what you've been doing and how long you've kind of been stuck and stagnant there. And nothing is going to change for you until you change. You will not produce anything different until you do something different. You have to commit to doing something different than what you've been doing before because you will not get a different outcome. So commit to doing something different in 2020, whether that's even just trying to wake up 30 minutes earlier. Commit to yourself that you're going to do something different. And if you need help with the whole waking up early thing, there's an accountability group waiting that's going to help you be accountable to waking up early. That'll help build in that new habit. Join an accountability group. That's the best way to build a new habit. Yeah.
Well said by the morning hero.
yes.
Thanks, Jarvis.
Thanks for coming in.
Double handshake.
Yes.
As always, yeah, we're fired up now.